Okay, so if what happened in this small village in Wales is true, then the military didn't just see a UFO one night, they chased it. In February of 2016, multiple witnesses saw a massive, silent, pyramid-shaped object floating over the countryside, while fighter jets and helicopters swarmed around it. Some say there were explosions, while others say that something was shot down. And by morning, there were reports of soldiers searching the area. Now here's where everything gets really weird. The military said it was just a training exercise, but the people who were there, they insist what they saw was something far beyond anything human. So tonight we're going to break this down step by step, using witness testimony, military records, and the official explanation. And by the end, you can decide for yourself what really happened in the night skies over Pentyrch. Pentyrch, nestled among farmland and the steep slopes of the Garth Mountain, is normally a peaceful community. The area is dotted with homes, forests, and open fields, offering a clear view of the night sky. Residents had noticed unusual military activity for days leading up to the incident. Helicopters flew low, aircraft circled repeatedly, and locals began speculating about what was happening above their homes. Some observers would later describe a spotter plane appearing to monitor the area continuously. At the time, few residents realized these early signs were a prelude to one of the most dramatic aerial encounters in recent British history. The main event unfolded around 2:30 a.m. on February 26th. Local resident Kaz Clark, living near open fields behind her home, had already been monitoring the unusual aerial activity. She reported seeing a single red light high above the trees, followed by two more that arranged themselves into a triangular formation. Slowly, Clark said, the shape of a massive, silent, pyramid-shaped craft became visible above the countryside. The object appeared to hover effortlessly, rocking slightly in the darkness. Suddenly, multiple military aircraft entered the scene, converging on the object. Witnesses described a chaotic sequence of fighter jets and helicopters moving at high speed, pursuing smaller green and red objects that separated from the larger pyramid craft. Explosions were heard, adding to the sense of drama and urgency. According to Clark and other residents, several smaller craft were involved. One cylindrical object reportedly hovered within 20 feet of the witnesses, scanning them with beams of light before shooting away silently. Meanwhile, the larger aircraft maintained a pursuit over the surrounding hills. Some witnesses later claimed that one of these smaller objects was shot down, leaving behind debris in nearby woodlands. Helicopters reportedly hovered at low altitudes, and local residents observed military personnel combing the countryside immediately afterward. While some witnesses saw these actions as an attempt to cover up what had happened, military officials later framed them as part of routine operations and exercises. Clark claims she discovered the remains of a craft in a nearby forested area the morning after the incident. She described broken trees, scorched vegetation, and a trail of debris stretching through the woodland. She documented the site with video footage, which circulated online, sparking intense debate among UFO enthusiasts. Over the following days, soldiers and police were reportedly observed in the area, adding credibility for some witnesses to the theory of a recovered craft. However, no official documentation or confirmed recovery of extraterrestrial debris has ever been released publicly. The British Ministry of Defence later explained that the military presence was part of Exercise Chameleon, a scheduled operation involving both the Royal Air Force and the Army. This exercise included helicopters, transport aircraft, and simulated combat maneuvers. Officials stated that flare deployments, parachute illumination devices, and aircraft formations could account for the unusual lights observed by residents. Triangular light patterns could result from multiple aircraft flying in formation, with red or green navigation lights, and explosions heard could have been part of simulated ordnance deployment. While the military explanation is technically plausible, it does not fully account for all eyewitness descriptions, including the silent hovering pyramid craft and close encounters with smaller objects. Kaz Clark spent years gathering testimonies, revisiting the scene, and analyzing video footage. She insists that what she saw could not have been a standard military exercise. She claims the military anticipated the event and placed aircraft on standby in preparation. Police records confirm that multiple residents called to report strange aerial activity that night, logging times, locations, and descriptions of lights and aircraft movements. While no independent physical evidence such as recovered debris or radar documentation has surfaced publicly, Clark and other supporters argue that the combination of eyewitness accounts and unusual military behavior is nonetheless compelling. The Pentyrch UFO Incident remains one of the most debated contemporary UFO cases in the UK. Proponents of Clark's account ask why military aircraft were operating at night over a small village, why helicopters flew so low, and why soldiers reportedly searched nearby fields afterward. Skeptics maintain that the incident can be explained by conventional military maneuvers, with witness misinterpretation of flares, aircraft, and lighting effects. Radar data and physical evidence are lacking, leaving researchers with conflicting narratives and a mystery that is difficult to resolve definitively. Unlike historic UFO cases from the Cold War era, the Pentyrch incident occurred in 2016, when smartphones, dash cams, and surveillance systems are ubiquitous. Yet no definitive footage, radar confirmation, or recovered debris has been made public. The lack of concrete evidence has kept the story alive in the UFO community, especially because it involves multiple independent eyewitnesses, military activity, and reports of unexplained objects interacting in close proximity. For many, the case demonstrates that UFO phenomena remain relevant, even in a modern technological context. So, if this was really just a military exercise, then why were jets and helicopters already in the air before any of this happened? And why were helicopters flying so low over a small village in the middle of the night? And why do multiple witnesses still insist that something was chased across the sky and possibly shot down? Because even if part of this story is true, then what happened in the skies over Pentyrch that night wasn't training. It was an interception. And whatever was in that sky was likely never meant to be seen. If you enjoy deep dives into paranormal cases, subscribe here for more true stories of hauntings, the supernatural, and unexplained phenomena. And in the meantime, remember, stay spooky.